Hello, another video, one I wanted to be making for a while actually, and it's in regards to the BSA Gold Star. Well basically, what's the problem with the Gold Star? I've heard sort of a lot of negative press about it, and yeah, the sales obviously haven't been great. There's been a major price reduction of late. I think it was originally sort of 6,700. And now it's down to 5,000 for the base model, and I think it's an extra £500 for the Legacy Edition, which is a shinier mudguard and a couple of shinier parts on the bike as far as I can see. I don't think it's a massive transformation. But yeah, they're clearly not selling. So yeah, big price drop by BSA. I'm just wondering why they're not selling. You can look at the moment, ex-demos, or not even ex-demos, bikes with no miles on them, pre-registered, for £4,000, between £4,000 and £4,200, and that's with an extra 2 years warranty on top of the already they give you 2 years warranty, so a total of 4 years warranty. So yeah, it's I'm just sort of wanted to sort of make this video just to sort of see why this is happening with BSA, and I think, to be honest, I think it's been a bit of a perfect storm for them. Unfortunately, I've read a lot of negative press from people who haven't really actually ridden them. I think it's from sort of die-hard sort of BSA fans, or people fans of that sort of era of bike, who are saying it's not a real BSA, which obviously it's not. But you know, it's better than nothing, right? You know, they're not going to open up the old factory and get back the old boys who used to make them. So you know, is it better than nothing? Then 100%, yeah, of course it is. So yeah, I think there's a lot of that. I think there's a lot of poo-pooing from people who have not actually had any experience. I think it's part of the issue. I think the other part is we've just had the crappiest summer as well. No one's really buying bikes, or haven't really bought bikes. Dealers have been struggling a bit. Dealers have been shutting down quite a bit in the UK. So, you know, obviously this bike now is a couple of years old, so we've been going through this transition for the last couple of years. So it hasn't been the best of times for BSA to launch their new Gold Star. So yeah, I think that is a large part of having just the worst summer going, or very bad in my opinion. And yeah, just in general, just the negative sort of feedback we were getting from people. I mean, people who've actually ridden the bike have been very positive. When you watch any sort of MCN video, or you see actual owners of them, you know, they couldn't be any more sort of positive about the bike, especially at the price point now, where the bike is, you know, £5,000 brand new. Well, at the moment, from brand new as in not pre-registered, you go in and order it, but obviously there are better deals to be had, which we'll be going into in a moment. I've also been hearing sort of a few horror stories as well about dealers not taking them as part exchange. I mean, I've not actually heard sort of someone directly say that. It's always sort of been third party hearsay. I heard oh, this person said this, or this person said that. I've never actually heard that person say, well, I took my bike into Suzuki and Suzuki wouldn't part exit, they weren't interested. I've not heard that. So yeah, it's quite strange. I think a lot of it may have to do with people buying them brand new for, you know, around the sort of £6,500, £7,000, trying to get out of them now and then find themselves in negative equity. Is probably quite a bit to do with it. So yeah, dealers are probably a bit hesitant to touch them. Obviously, they've not been in the market long either. You know, they'd rather take more established brands, and they've seen the price drops happening. So I think they just don't want to be left with what may be the reason, but every dealer can see a markup in anything. So maybe it's at the point they just feel like they don't want to lowball their customer. It might be something to do with that. But again, you know, these are hearsay things. I've not directly heard from someone that, you know, a dealer will not take a BSA Gold Star in part exchange. If there's a markup to be had, a dealer's going to take it. You know, they're there to make money, so you know, they're not there to be snooty about what they take. You know, as long as it meets their criteria within their dealer network, then they'll take the bike. But I mean, there are other reasons why they might. Maybe their terms and conditions won't allow them to. I mean, you know, it's trying to sort of discuss individual cases is quite difficult. But to be honest, I think that's a bit of a non-story in my opinion. But if anyone knows any different, or has been rejected for part X their bike, then let me know. Also, the other next thing I want to get onto is reliability issues. I've been reading things, again, sort of hearsay stories, but I have seen a video on YouTube of a gentleman who's having an issue with his Gold Star. There seems to be faults with ignition. Ignition fault seems to be the main the main problem with them that I seem to see, that the bike will turn on, but then if you move the handlebars, it will turn off. And BSA don't seem to be too quick to, in some cases, sort these issues out. Maybe there's a bit of a issue getting the bike back to the dealer or something like that, because I don't think it's a particularly massive issue. So yeah, I've heard ignition faults, and obviously wait times, wiring looms as well. Well, looms, I'm saying plural, wiring loom. Obviously I've been doing my research and I come across a chap who had to have a new wiring loom. I mean, we've got to remember as well that these are potentially teething problems. It's a brand new bike. So I always warn people, from a brand new bike, maybe wait the first sort of year out till the bike's had all its foibles and little misgivings sorted before you sort of dive in. I think that's probably the best thing. But yeah, I think a lot of these could just be teething issues, and it being the first iteration. I mean, it's a GS650 engine, right? It's extremely, reliable. I've heard also issues of stalling problems, which is probably down to mapping, which they probably sorted at this point. I mean, I bought something recently, a sports car, which is a British-built sports car that I bought new, and that had the same issue, stalling issues, and that had to go back, and that had to have a remap, and that was considerably more expensive than a BSA Gold Star. So it happens, it's one of those things. I think people just have to expect that with a new bike. If I was buying something that was brand new to the market, I'd be thinking, right, we're probably going to have a couple of issues here. But I mean, the amount of bikes that they have sold, they've sold quite a few, and I haven't, heard horror stories, but I think a lot of the stories are coming from people that don't actually own them, which I think is a bit odd. I think they've just got a bit of a bee in their bonnet that it's not a real BSA, and that's enough for them. So I think if they rode one, I think they'd probably be quite happy with the way they ride and stuff. Considering with other people, I mean, this is a little bit rich coming from me because I haven't actually ridden one. I mean, I've seen enough reviews to see, and enough trusted reviews to see, from likes of Nevesy from MCN Road One, and you're always going to get a straight, honest answer from him. And obviously, he sort of, commented on it was a bit woolly, from the rear suspension, and that's what everyone says. I've heard that quite a bit, but that's easily sorted. There's a few aftermarket parts you can get for them at the moment, which I think Hagen rear shocks are doing something for it, which aren't massively expensive. So, if you can pick one up for around the £4,000 mark, then you've got, I'd say, enough in the budget to start, maybe tinkering a bit. And I know they do a sort of power commander type part for the BSA as well. So if you wanted to sort of iron out the fueling a bit and get an exhaust and maybe the aftermarket, rear shocks, just to make it your own a bit, which I think is quite a good idea, really. I know they do screens and all that good stuff for them as well. So there's plenty of aftermarket parts that you can get for them. I think the other part as well of the perfect storm with BSA as well is just how long they take to bring something to market. The new BSA Scrambler has just been in the works for God knows how long. I think it was 2023 maybe, or maybe 2024. No, 2023 I think was the first time I saw or heard of the BSA Scrambler. And we're still at the point now of early 2025 of not even actually having a delivery date. I know a few people are taking deposits online for them, but even when you look on BSA's official website, you don't see a mention of the Scrambler at all. It's only when you go onto their Lucas sort of subsidiary-based company that obviously a distributor for them actually mention the Scrambler. So if you go on their website is actually way better than the official BSA one, which is a bit odd. So yeah, I think that's a bit frustrating as well, and I think the user experience on the website isn't great. I was looking online last night and I just saw that the UI was rather rubbish on the site, so that doesn't really fill you with confidence, because if you went to any major motorcycle dealer and you started looking on their website, you wouldn't find the sort of issues I was finding on there. So that was a little bit inconsistent with how you'd want to you see the brand. You want to sort of see it as as a cool British brand. It's got a British designer. It's got all the makings to be a great bike. I just think it's just had a bit of a perfect storm, and it's not really been launched the way it should, and there was a hell of a wait for it as well before it came out. Again, like we're waiting for the Scrambler, but I'm hoping potentially the Scrambler will come out and will probably iron out the sort of inconsistencies with pricing that we're seeing with the BSA at the moment. I think I think BSA are just trying to get people on their bikes, hence why we've seen these massively reduced for 4.2. And let's have a look anyway while we're here. See, I'm seeing a pre-reg offer, 74 plate, no miles, 4295, and that's with an extra 2-year warranty. So you can get the 2+2 year warranty. So yeah, 4 years. And let's be honest, if the bike was rubbish, are you going to be giving it a 4-year warranty? No, they're not. They're going to be trying to get out of them as quickly as possible. So yeah, they've got them in all different colours. Save £2,204 nationwide delivery. So the deals are out there. Some with 10 miles. I mean, it's unfortunate for the odd one that I see here with 500 miles and he still wants £4,000. He hasn't got a chance in hell. I mean, which is the downside for someone who's bought one new for £7,000, which I think part of the reason, there's quite a few disgruntled customers who bought them new. They paid around 6,500, 7,000 for the legacy edition. And now they're thinking, oh, well, I've had this a couple of years now, and then actually finding, if they want to sell it privately, they're probably looking at £3,500, which is a bit of a hell of a kick to lose well over half of the value. But gone are the days where, we had COVID where people sort of were buying, cars and bikes and, due to demand and, we had chip shortages and all that good stuff that forced the price up. Those days are gone. So if you're looking to get all your money back, I think you're going to be left wanting to a certain degree. So yeah, I think, I'm itching to try one. I'm kind of interested myself because you look at the comparison of what you can buy. Obviously, Royal Enfields were even more money by, a good £1,500. Try and Bonneville, you can't even really put in the same league now due to price differences. I mean, or even buying anything used. I mean, if you could buy a bike like this, have 4 years warranty, any problems, take it straight back to the dealer to get sorted, maybe add your own personal touch to it, and it looks cool, even with the BSA brand. Whether you believe it's a real BSA or not, well, it's playing on the facts of, the old BSAs. I mean, that's a lot of stuff now, right? Your Fiat 500 isn't a Fiat 500. Your Mini isn't a Mini anymore. We have moved on, 50, 60 years. So, if you want that sort of stuff, then you're best off buying an old bike, an old Gold Star. This is the great thing about something like this. Electric start, fuel injected, ready to go. You're not there trying to kick it over, trying to start. I mean, I love classic bikes. Obviously, I've got a few and I love them. But, there's always that, am I going to get home type thought and mentality around it. So, yeah, I'm interested, and I would like to have a go on one and see what they're like. So I will reach out to a dealer and see if I can possibly get my hands on one and give you a real honest opinion on one. But that's my opinion on the BSA Gold Star. So I'd like to hear yours. So yeah, comment below. Tell me what you think about them and why you think that we've had this sort of price drop and all that good stuff. And I've also got something interesting coming tomorrow. I've got a barn find motorcycle coming tomorrow, which I think you'll all find kind of interesting. It's a real love or hate bike. I'll give you a hint what it is. It's from 1990, and as I said in my other video, it's very McDonald's spec, to say the least. So yeah, have a guess in the comments and see what you think it could be, and I'll do the big reveal of that tomorrow.